we're in the middle of a joke already, all right?
Hello.
I can't believe you actually said that.
Welcome to episode 39 of the Role Slayers podcast. As you can see, we're once again in our new space. It's wonderful. It's awesome. We're happy to be here with everyone besides Hayden. Rest in peace. He's not dead. But
Yeah, what?
one's
that
dead.
was very dark.
he's not dead. He's just in Maine, and it's sad. Before we get into our game, as always, we have announcements. Jeremy, if you'd like to take it away.
Yes, from the audio background flavor component of this podcast, we rely on Sirenscape.com. Play with the sliders. I'm pretty sure if it's not their slogan, it will be soon. Hope you're listening. So
Which that could be the slogan of like literally any video game with a character creation engine.
Oblivion.
play with the sliders.
No middle sliders. Don't leave anything in the middle.
Yeah, you have to, everything must
Only polarized.
anyway. So is the way of our anyway. But then there's Beyond Skyrim, who honestly you're probably not going to notice it because it's going to make so much sense in the podcast and enrich your listening ability. You might be pulled out of the campaign for a second to say, that's amazing music. What is that? And it's Beyond Skyrim. So check them out, beyondskyrim.org. Over to you. What is it? Over to who? Over to you. Over to you. Cotton.
Now it's going to Jeremy for the weather.
Oh my gosh.
No, let's
that's
talk
amazing.
about World
Back to you,
Anvil.
Cotton.
World Anvil for just a moment. If you don't know what it is by now, well, that's on you by this point. Check out our affiliate link at worldanvil.pxf.io/rollslayers.
Well, actually, this is the first episode after the story so far, which doesn't say anything about.
Okay, yeah, well, you should check it out. It's a really cool world
That's
building.
true.
Yeah. That's a very good point. It's a cool platform for world building tools and accessories and prompts and a lot of things to get your creative juices juicing.
Yeah. Build your own wiki. It's going to be great. You're going to be swimming in articles like me.
Yep. Anyways, World Anvil.
Last but not least, follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc. We have a Twitter. We don't tweet. We technically have a Facebook, but it's just all of our stuff from Instagram.
And our Discord is the most active, so check that out.
Our Discord is very active.
It's popping.
It's fun. Anyway, let's play some D&D.
Yeah.
Woo! Gosh, it's been so long.
Last we left off, the party awoke to the clamor of the military of the apostasy entering the city after some much needed downtime and rest within the city. They attended a march through of this military force and discovered that Stephanos Tasso, not so, was leading an army of the Adiopore through the city. Many foot soldiers, mounted horse, and war elephants as well, which Phineas Lonesong was very excited about. In passing, he also did mention to the party that, yes, Duke Adrian Costeau has now claimed a crown for himself and named himself King of the Elanco Lowlands in open rebellion against the Blackthorn Ascendancy. To the party's alarm, so the guild decided to start quickly packing. And Vern made it known that he thinks that this is where they part ways. And so, finding a quick teleportation circle out of town with Phineas, Vern said his goodbyes and departed the party, who were still finishing packing at the Royal Stag. The party was also invited to dinner at Riverwatch Citadel, where they said they could collect their reward from Top Plolul for the green dragon that they had slain. We pick up with the party around mid-morning to early, right before noon, probably, is where we'll pick up. So, you are packing. You're probably almost packed. What do you do?
I'd get packed quickly and meet just be sitting down waiting for everyone to come down.
Sure. Osfrid is down, bringing you whatever you need. So if you need anything, just ask him.
Nope, I'd be all set, packed quickly.
Yep.
Like
Waiting. Yes.
One backpack, seven weapons.
Yep.
Yeah, I think as Cyrus is packing, he is having a fairly one-sided conversation with Franklin, just trying to process through the events of the last 24 hours.
So you'd be down sitting with us also?
What's that?
So you'd be down sitting with us also, or you'd be packing?
Well, while I'm packing,
Okay.
I'm doing that, and then
Okay.
I'll come down. But I'm talking to Franklin, I don't even know what's going on with Top Lul and Vern. He's just gone. He's gone. Can you believe it, Franklin? Well, of course you can. And there's this army coming in now, and the Civil War, and who even knows anymore? Oh, don't sit there, Franklin. Here, I'm going to move him, and I'll come on downstairs once I'm done packing.
It's actually, he's a lizard. He's not usually a very snuggly guy, but as you're kind of fretting, he kind of scampers up your arm after you set him down and then starts to nuzzle your neck a little bit, trying to let you know that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vinny is just sitting in a corner, super quiet. There's not a lot to pack, so he was pretty much packed when he went into the. So
Sure.
he's just waiting. Probably not close to anyone. Just on a couch somewhere in the lobby.
Elin?
Is already down
Okay.
downstairs.
Where you guys headed?
Broad strokes. We were talking about heading back down to Urangol next, right?
Yeah.
I meant right now. Are you guys going to the dinner party, or are you guys departing?
Oh yeah,
the
I
party?
forgot about the dinner party.
Yes.
I figured you would want your money.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Is it strange to pack all of your things to go to a dinner party, though?
I mean, you can I assume you're going to be grabbing your mules and cart and stuff like that. So you can kind of pack up, put your stuff in your mules and cart, and kind of have that on standby if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that.
Wherever you've stabled it at, to where your stuff's there, you can pick up your mules, you can pick up your cart, and you can just leave from there.
Wait, didn't we have horses?
Nope,
Ponies.
We only had mules?
Yep.
Or, yeah.
Okay.
just donkeys.
Brian,
Okay.
Ford, and Harrison.
I do remember that.
Very
Did we
important.
pick Brian back up? Did he make it? We
Yeah.
found him. We found
We
everything.
found
A
it.
merchant found him. Remember?
That's right. Oh gosh. I'm
That's
getting
been so
mixed up.
long.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, yeah, no, we're cool. No, we're in it. We're in it. All right,
It's okay. I
we're-
expect you to remember every single detail.
We're coming off of a bit of a summer hiatus here.
listener question. Pause the podcast. Did we have donkeys or mules? Remember, they're two different animals.
I believe they were
Ding,
mules.
Ding, ding, ding. If you guessed mules, then you've won the satisfaction of knowing that you remembered.
And I believe mules, correct me if I'm wrong, they are just a crossbreed of horses and donkeys.
Yeah.
Yep, and they're sterile.
Cool. The more you know.
Yeah.
You built that into your world anvil, right?
No, I
No, in
haven't.
this world anvil, you can actually breed mules.
Oh,
It's fantasy, John.
Anyway,
So, that said, are you wanting to kind of...
is it
Is there
time?
anything you want to do before this evening? Because you have about, 5-6 hours before this dinner party is proposed.
Come 6 hours early. Hey!
Where the appetizers at?
I brought potato salad.
Oh yeah, unrefrigerated.
Oh. That'd be awkward.
So, what next? Dinner party in about 4 hours, 5 hours. What should we do before then?
Maybe we should find a cleric or local clergy to pray for our trip to Erangel. See if we can, just prepare ourselves spiritually for the journey.
Well, that sounds about as good as anything else.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Would that be helpful, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Listen, I apologize. I'm probably just going to take a moment to myself and just walk out. Then you'll walk out the front door,
okay,
and I'll meet you at the dinner party.
okay. The rest of you are wanting to head to a chapel.
Yeah.
I would just follow with it.
Okay. There are a few that you know of. There are the three in the Northern Expanse. If you'd like to visit one of those three, there are three in the Southern Fringe that you've heard of as well. You've not visited those, but there are three of them there. Is there anything specific you're looking for?
I'm looking for one of the 4 deities that would be accepted in the Blackthorn Ascendancy.
Let me think.
Right, because Mara wouldn't be, right?
Right.
Say Mara.
Alora.
Oh, Melora.
Laura.
Malora, that's right.
Mara's Skyrim.
Yeah.
We call her Laura for short.
Well, we play so much Skyrim, beyond Skyrim music.
True.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta buy that game all over again.
You're thinking, and none of the 4 gods of the apostasy are actually formally dedicated in temple form here.
No.
You've heard of Arvarine, the halfling god of war. You've heard that there is a temple to Sinahine, to Avandra, the Changebringer. There's obviously Melora. There is a temple to Luthic, the Cave Mother. That's kind of what you've heard.
We've been to both Melora's and Sinahide's, right?
You have been to Sinahine's to cure
Okay.
the lycanthropy, and you've been to
Yes.
Melora's, I think, twice.
Yes.
You've not been to the House of Shifting Winds, which is the 3rd temple in the Northern Expanse, and you've not been to any of the ones in the Southern Fringe.
What's in the Southern Fringe?
The temple to Arvarine, there's actually another temple to Avandra, and there's a temple to Luthic.
Remind me who Avandra is.
Avandra is the Changebringer.
Oh, okay. I'm looking for the most lawful and the most good aligned.
Probably gonna have to either choose Melora or Sinahine.
Let's go with Sinahine.
Okay, so you're going to the Mooncrest Sanctuary. You guys head to the Northern Expanse. Beep, 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 beep. You head to the Northern Expanse, and as you've seen many times now, the temple to the Moonweaver Mooncrest Sanctuary sits tall, austere, this almost imposing cathedral with the little main tower and the lapis stone half circle. And enter. It's cool. The stained glass windows of various deific acts still filters light, and you come upon the elven priest that you met with earlier to cure the woman of her lycanthropy. His name was Normer Philadrith. Sorry. But he greets each of you. Moonweaver's blessing.
Greetings. We've actually come to ask for a blessing. We're about to set out for Erangel, which is quite a ways away. And
Oh,
we would love for a travel blessing.
sure. I can. That's actually apt. You might want to travel under the cover of darkness or the moonlight.
or that we might be able to help someone along our way. This doesn't have to be just for us. You know, maybe fortune could deliver someone to us that could travel with us and be protected by us, but for general good tidings.
Sure. Yes, this is a dangerous path that you've chosen. I don't know if you've heard the Ascendancy's at war right now. Yes, I will. I will make prayers to the Moonweaver in your names. I don't quite remember. Did we exchange names last time you were here?
I believe we did, but I can, and I take out some parchment and here's the names of my party, myself, and I actually write out my full name.
Okay.
Because I understand for it's a spiritual kind of religious reason, and I feel like it's very important to write out my full name in this case. And I write out everyone else's name as best as I can with their titles. But I do leave out your character's last name just for privacy's sake.
Cool.
Just kind of knowing
I would note
she
that.
probably, you can see over her shoulder
Mhm.
that she did leave it out. And then, Venuthrus. So, and then just hands the paper over.
I'm Cyrus. This is Franklin.
Hello, yes.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, I meet a lot of people. It's hard sometimes to keep track, although our meeting was memorable. But yes, I will take this to Sinaheen tonight in the light of the moon. I will burn incense and pray with all the implements necessary to curry her favor for you and for the souls traveling the road.
Thank you.
Not an issue.
In war, oftentimes many innocents and non-combatants find themselves stranded or injured, so of course everyone, both nations in this war could use a lot of prayer right now, so I'm sure you and your fellow attendants will be very busy in the days ahead.
Yes, we all know that very well. Drasberg was hit very hard a few years back, about 31. And many innocents were dispersed and claimed by the ravages of war. So yes, we know it well. I was here. Though I did not worship the Moonweaver openly then. This was a temple to Ayun, I believe. But I will, sincerely. And thank you for coming. The Moonweaver should shine her light during these trying times to all.
Do I see any, architectural or maybe no longer artistic or decorative indicators that this was a temple to Ayun?
Sure. As you kind of look around, it is very bare bones of a structure. There's not a lot of artistic embellishment in these, while nice pale white kind of large blocks of stone, they're not carved up with, like fancy, inlays of the Moonweaver's symbology and whatnot. So you could assume that a lot of this was probably added on. The windows probably were added on. The tower itself might have been added on, but it almost has the interior of a library feel, which is very fitting for a temple of Ayun, her being the knowing mistress.
And would she have been... I know she... it's all about Bahamut, and the other three are kind of just... She's chill with them too. But what was Ayun's, alignment?
She is either lawful neutral or true neutral, depending upon your interpretation.
Okay.
She's very much a keeper of knowledge.
Okay. So at this point, she's probably neutral to neutral, no feeling either way. I was gonna have her say something like shame, change the temple, but it's all anyway.
Well, is there anything else I can do for you?
I don't think so.
Well, be blessed by the moonlight and always walk within it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And he goes back to shepherding a couple of what looks to be initiates through some sort of prayer.
Well,
What time would it be now?
With travel and
Yeah.
just talking, maybe like 1, 2. You still have some time for sure. Vinny, what are you doing while this is happening?
Goes to the Peace and Serenity Tea House to visit
Tanja.
Yeah.
She nods to you serenely as you enter. Greetings. What can I do for you today?
Hello. I'm just in for a bit of tea.
Small plate as well, or just the tea?
Not much of an appetite. Just had some walking crepes anyway.
Very well.
Just tea.
Just tea. Surprise you, or do you have something in mind?
I think I'll take something light and floral if you have it.
No, a white tea.
Please.
She goes back and starts to pour some steaming water into a intricate cast iron teapot and brings to you just a small, jug of tea with 1 cup on a tray. Sets it down to you.
Thank you.
Of course. Let me know if you need anything else.
Certainly.
That'll set you back just 3 copper.
Okay. And he would just be contemplating, I think, the recent events, of course, the goodbye with Vern. He made a kind of I wouldn't say it was a last minute decision, but he had to make a last minute call to stay. And I think he's still processing why he made that as the final call.
Sure.
And so he's just kind of thinking over what now. And as he stirs the tea, not so much to stir anything in it, but to move the tea leaves around a bit, the little fragments.
Yeah.
Not so much drinking it as he is just brooding over it. He would say the equivalent of a prayer to his patron, and just say, "What now? What now? If you have any guidance, I could certainly use it at this point."
Your tea, while fragrant and flowery smelling, almost feels like it changes almost to kind of this earthy, grassy smell for just a second. And kind of warm steam kind of catches the side of your cheek and kind of wraps around you almost like an embrace. And you just hear kind of almost as if this, the kind of the sizzling steam almost has a voice where it just says, "Rest. Follow your heart for now."
And we'd have a response. "And what of your requirements of me? Have you anything more to say about that endeavor?"
The steam dissipates.
All right then. Rest it is.
As you are sitting, almost brooding, you see Tanjian kind of come over, and your tea comes with like a tea board, and she pours the now cold tea from your cup into the tea board and refills it. Best to drink hot. It will lose its flavor. It's very delicate.
Right. Thank you.
Not a problem. Goes back. Looks like she's reading a book. It's kind of chilling.
He sips.
And eventually, unless you want to spend the entire evening there, you very much can. But if you have other things to do, by all means.
you can cut back to the group.
Sure. What is the rest of the group doing after your visit to the sanctuary?
I would have just walked out, like, promptly, just out of the sanctuary, just sort of waiting outside for the rest of them to come out. Sort of confused and just not used to so used to following what someone else was doing that in the circumstance of not understanding what's going on at home, and just kind of confused and didn't find much comfort in there.
Sure. As you both exit, Bells does have a very kind of puzzled look on her face as she's kind of just leaning up against the wall.
Everything all right, Bells?
Oh, not really, I guess. I'm not really sure how to, I don't know, act in a temple like that. It's just not something I'm used to.
Well, it's not my temple of choice either, but, I think in the little time that we have, it's best to try to prepare as best we can in ways that we maybe haven't even thought of preparing before, but maybe we should look for Venuthra and see where he's holed up at.
You guys wanting to try and find Vinny?
Yeah.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me. With advantage, you know who Vinny is. You know where he might hang out.
I have 16.
Did you roll at advantage? I mean, I don't think it matters, but...
That's the advantage.
Okay. So you stop by a few pubs and taverns on your way, but eventually you do find your way to the tea house that Vinny is residing in for the moment. Vinny, you're probably just finishing your tea and maybe planning to get up when in through the door walks Cyrus, Bells, and Alen.
Well, hello.
We thought we might find you here.
Hello,
Yes.
Tanjan.
Oh, hello.
Tanjan.
More cups, more tea?
There's just one cup for me.
How many of you would be?
Just,
Sure, yes. I
all
would
of
love
you,
some.
Sit down, join me. And he would move to a larger table.
Okay. Well, do you require anything besides tea? I have small steamed dumplings.
Oh, I'll take some steamed dumplings.
Very well. Some dumplings. And she busies about there's no really a kitchen. It's kind of all behind the bar, but she brings to you some more tea and some dumplings. You can set back 5 copper amongst you for the dumplings and tea, but then goes back to her book.
Yes. And please forgive me. I was a little bit curt before, and I just needed some time to process. And I'm actually very relieved to see all of you here. It actually warms my heart greatly. So please sit, join me for some tea.
You take as much time as you like, kind of, having some light plates, filling your stomach up a little bit. I'm sure for some of you, your stomachs are churning a little bit, but the tea and the light food settles it. And you look out the window, and sure enough, the sky is darkening by the time you're done enjoying one another's company. And unless you have anything else to do, you may make your way to Riverwatch Citadel.
Just maybe RP some of the post-Vern conversation.
Sure.
I would love to know how each of you are processing this next chapter. I know that we had some commitments to go to Urangol, and I have every intention of following through, supporting Alen in the endeavor of of at least checking in on her hometown and then also finding what we can about the Cartagia family. I have put out some feelers to an old friend of mine, and hopefully we will hear back from her soon, or him, actually. Can it be a her? Can I turn it to a her?
Sure, I don't care.
Hopefully we will hear back from her soon, and but until then, we have some time before the dinner party. I suppose I just want to say I'm very grateful for you all, and I'm in.
Well,
The
good.
Guild- The Guild of Goodwill.
Yes, I have nowhere else to go.
Guild of Goodwill -1. But
Well,
Yes.
I wrote your name down for blessing, so for our trip. So it's good. Glad you're with us.
Well, it's more than that. I when I said goodbye to Vern, I was very much contemplating going with him, and I decided that there's more still for me with you, and I have a lot to learn and a lot to understand about each of you, and even my place in the world. But I give you my crossbow.
well, one thing I can tell you, being somewhat more advanced in years, is that at a certain point you go through this every now and then where you say goodbye to people who you hope would stick around, and and sometimes the people you say goodbye to are people who you had hoped would stick around for a lot longer. And if you're fortunate, not always, but if you're fortunate, you get the chance to say goodbye. And we did get that. And I'm satisfied with that.
Well said, Cyrus.
Thank you.
It's hard. It's hard to lose everything that you know.
Yes, it is. Never really had people that were choosing to stick around with me. And I'm not really sure what to do with it. Thank you for being here. All of you.
Hopefully we can help a lot more people.
I want to tell you all about someone.
Is this another one of your conquests, Vinny? Because I'm not entirely certain that we want to hear about her.
I can leave certain details
I knew it.
hidden. There are better avenues for that. Some things are just best kept hidden. Do I know her name?
You don't still.
I actually don't know her name. Okay, so I have been commuting with someone,
Oh,
and
I suppose that's what they're calling it now.
yes.
no. Or rather, someone's been communing with me, but it doesn't mean what you think it means. But I was reminded of it when Alin had asked to go and seek prayer, seek blessing. And I did the same here in this space. And this person, who, to be honest, I actually do not know her name, she gave me great confidence to continue with you. And I'm very relieved to have a sense of purpose. But I don't want to keep anything hidden from you.
Is this like a girlfriend?
It's not. It's like an encounter. And I believe that she is to blame for what I'm able to do with my magic. I did not have that ability before meeting her. And she indeed told me that it was a gift that she had given me. And so, I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I do have a guiding light. It's just not found in temples. And I do not believe that she would lead us astray. So, but I did want you to know that that is a big part of my new life with you. Since I met Vern met me the morning after this had happened. And Lynn, you were there when we were talking to Iadon. And I went up to my room after that conversation and researched, and I think that I had made a pact with her, even though I was not knowing of that pact. And I'm afraid I've probably caused you a great deal of distress, Lynn. Curious about my own, my own commitments. I had not the information to tell you. And she spoke to me again here in this place. She said to rest, to follow my heart. And at least for now, my heart says, be with you. And that is, I don't know if I'm turning over a new tea leaf or what have you, but I think this is my purpose. And I will commit to each of you and to protect each of you to the best of my ability.
Your words bring comfort. And believe me, none of these temples, and I think it's safe to say there are quite few buildings indeed that I could truly call a place of worship. I do my prayer with penitence, and she pats one of her swords, which has penitence written on it, engraved on it. That is how I complete my prayer with my sword. So I understand not your worship and your prayer taking a different form than asking for blessing in a temple. So I don't condemn your approach at all, and it seems that you seek to do good. So our interests are aligned, and as long as you seek to help people and to party with us and in doing good, then you need not have fear of me or my judgment or condemnation, Vinny.
There may be some habits that I must unlearn. I only ask for the grace to unlearn them.
You shall have it.
Yes, we can give you that.
As you guys enjoy the rest of your wonderful steamed pork dumplings and white tea, or if anyone else wants anything else.
Well,
You
Lynn
can have
wouldn't
it.
eat pork, but
Oh yeah,
she got the veggie dumplings,
there's definitely veggie dumplings.
mushroom dumplings.
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
there are
Mr.
definitely
good.
some mushroom dumplings.
Mr.
Oh, here we go.
Dumpling in H Mart has
Ooh.
the best king dumplings.
H Mart in general, but we're gonna get off track.
Mhm.
Whenever we talk about food, that's always a risk
I'm really hungry right now too.
because that's what we role play.
Yeah.
That's our fantasy world: is good food,
Eating.
just whatever we want, whenever we want it.
But as you eat, drink, and solemnly reflect, the sun does set, and you do make your way to Riverwatch Citadel, I assume.
Yeah.
Handing over your weapons once again, having to wait for bells to unsheath everything for a hot second. But then you do enter into the keep, traveling into the familiar gallery and throne room of the Kitagora. And you're led by the guards to a door under the right gallery's balcony.
Quick retcon: as I'm handing over my staff, I'm also going to do a cheeky little finger guns at him, since we're handing over weapons.
Kind of pauses for a second, slowly finger guns back confusedly.
Can't get rid of all the weapons, right?
I don't know. Yes, right.
Are they finger guns or finger hand crossbows? Where are we at in civilization?
Those are finger hand
I'm just going.
crossbows.
I'm going in the spirit of my new mini.
Oh, I love it.
Love it. But as you're ushered through this door in the right side of the gallery, you're brought into this banquet hall by the Mist Electos, and you're announced at the door. The Guild of Goodwill. The room is it's occupied by a long, lavish table of pale ash wood, and the other end, a great fireplace is crackling with flame. Pale, glossy, yet red stone can be seen under these kind of rich iodocin rugs, and the smell of the coming courses of food wafts out from another door where you can see servers coming and going. There are 4 unoccupied seats available for you. At the table, there are a lot of people. At the head of the table sits Stephanos, and to his right sits Denai Gabrieli, the Kitagora. To his left sits your half-orc friend that you met on the road. And then on the right side of the table, there is that Tiefling head guardsman. There is what seems to be, a kind of a water genasi of heavier set. He has kind of dark green skin and blue-black hair. His eyes are like bright yellow. He has these little kind of small arm fins on his arms, kind of on his forearms. After him sits Tot Plolul. Then there are 4 empty chairs. Then is that shorter dwarvish fellow in the plain armor who has that ornate hammer across his back. You've seen him a couple times. And then a halfling with a eye patch and kind of a gruff demeanor with a few scars across his face. Across the table from where you guys sit down are a few different folks. Starting at the end of the table, opposite of Stephanos is Oswin Layton. You've seen him. He owns the Layton house, just a human fellow. There is a goblin woman, looks to be like 1,000,000 years old. So teeny, like half the size of a regular goblin, almost, just kind of shrunken. Morwarin Aldercrown, you've met him before. He owns the magic shop. He's the furbolg gentleman. Maude, the priestess of Melora, of the temple. A half-orc woman of older age, but like creeping into old age from middle age. These giant tusks that almost stick straight out, very little curve to them. There is, and this is these folks are kind of across from you at this point. A taller dwarf with like this fiery beard and like unkempt hair, no beard rings really. You see singe marks on kind of his sideburns and at the bottom of his beard, these piercing blue eyes. As well as a teeny little gnome with glasses and it looks to be a broken nose of middling age. And lastly, 2 other people sitting at the table across from you. Let's see. Sorry. There's a lot of people that I'm naming.
Mm-hmm.
I lost it. A
lot of familiar
Norimer.
faces.
Norimer Fildrith. You just visited him at Mooncrest Sanctuary. And then what looks to be an Azamar person, androgynous in kind of features with really almost pale white skin and kind of glowing amber eyes, and then this aqua hair that's almost shoulder length. What's everyone's passive perception, actually?
Ooh, let me look at that.
15.
Okay.
11.
11.
11.
10, 11. Okay, only Bells. Bells, as you sit down to dinner, you notice that this Azamar, their shadow is almost a half second late. It's kind of weird, but it's not synced up to their movements.
Mm-hmm.
So you all sit down, and Tot ushers you to sit. My friends. Well, welcome to dinner.
Well, thank you for having us. I had expected something a little bit more intimate, but it is nice to see you again.
Oh, I can make you acquainted if you like. I see Vern and Mr. Phineas were able to make it away.
Ah, yes. They have left us. They've departed.
I hope he finds what he's looking for. But oh yes, and he pulls out from his one of his kind of wizard robe pockets on the interior of his robes, a small coin purse, bounty from the five, and drops it on the table in front of whoever's sitting next to Tot. Who's sitting next to Tot, and who's sitting in the middle, and who's sitting next to the dwarf?
I would be sitting like 3 seats down from the left. So as far down as I could be from the end without being the person on the side of the group.
Okay, so you're in the middle.
I'd probably be next to Tot.
Okay.
I'd be next to Cyrus.
Okay. So, Vinny, you're on the end, next to that dwarven fellow in the plain plate mail. I think he had a dark beard, piercing green eyes.
How many people are there between us and Stefano? Stefano or Stefanos?
Stefanos, I believe just 2.
Okay.
Let me double check. No, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 between you and him.
So we're at a long banquet table, is that
Mm-hmm.
right? And
There's a very
people
long
on both
banquet
sides,
table.
correct?
Yes. There are people on your side and then people facing you, and then Stefanos at the end.
Okay, perfect.
I'd also be like visibly uncomfortable, wide-eyed, maybe like toiling with the long side of my hair. I don't think enough that like I'd be in control enough that maybe other people would notice I was nervous. But now that you guys know me enough that like you could sense some sort of change in my demeanor.
Awesome. As you go to open up the coin purse, if you do indeed want to open it up, they bring out their first kind of appetizer. It's lentil and chickpea salad, and then kind of like a barley and leek soup. But
Vinny would lean over to Bells and say, "Let me know if there's anything we need to do, or if we need to leave, or if you need an excuse, whatever it is."
Thank you. I'm fine for now. Let's just be calm and not draw attention.
Cyrus is gonna, when they bring out the food, he's gonna ask, "Oh, do you have any red wine, by chance?"
yes, the wine will be served after this.
Oh, okay, very good. But just making sure something was on the way.
Of course, yes.
Anyways, Mr. Plolul, I don't know that we've ever formally determined honorifics there, but we are headed towards Urangul next. Lynn over here, she has some business to take care of there, and well, we are. It does seem like we need to be headed out of the city, but I did have one favor to ask of you. I don't know if Yusk delivered this message to you, but I would appreciate it if you could let the quintessence know not to destroy my belongings or throw them all in the dump.
Oh, well, I can let my counterpart know, who oversees the Blackthorn Ascendancy's policing.
Well, that would be great. That would be great.
Of course.
It's just, I mean, nothing really of value. Just some sentimental value to. I'd rather not have them throw away all of my belongings just because I've been off actually learning magic for a change.
Very well, I can see what I can do.
Well, thank you.
He looks down at Vinny. Vinny, do you know your partner? And he just points down to the dwarf sitting next to you. Your seatmate.
Oh, is this the guy?
I
Poison hickey guy.
believe that we have.
No.
Oh, it's not.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
It is not.
Is this fiery beard, singed fire?
No,
beard?
this
Oh,
is
it's a
this
green
is
guy.
Blackbeard, green
Blackbeard,
eyes.
green eyes.
He has a big fancy. His hammer, actually. I guess I'll describe it.
If it was poison hickey guy, that would be a callback
be
nobody
hilarious.
wanted or asked for.
That would be
It was in black,
hilarious.
and I think that guy had blonde hair, so I anyway.
He did. His hammer is it's kind of like this maul that the whole haft is like silvered, and then its head is the visage of a snarling bear, but it's all pearly white and kind of glows softly. But he kind of interrupts Tot as he's trying to introduce you, and says, sorry, I forgot his name already. How did I do this?
Anyway, there was moment a second ago where you said, Cyrus's catchphrase has now become, got any red wine?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you ever watch Mystery Science Theater 3000. Oh my gosh, the new reboot of it. There's one, I can't, but there's, I don't know, it's some sort of high fantasy, really bizarre show. But the hero is like a drunk hero. And when they meet him, he's like, got any wine? Anyway, I think about that every time that you ask for wine.
That's
and
hilarious.
I have to show it to you. Maybe somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. Anyway.
He just kind of interrupts Tot as he's trying to basically kind of introduce you to folks. Name's Goldrin Snowhammer. Pleased to meet you.
Venuthra Silverpiece. Pleased to meet you. You said Goldrin?
Yes, Snowhammer.
Snowhammer. Sorry. I'm like trying to do the thing where you mimic someone's voice.
Oh, yeah.
They like you more. Yeah.
Mirroring.
So, yeah, mirroring. Pleased to meet you.
Hey.
I am a member of the Guild of Goodwill, invited here by Mr. Topplulu. A little bit.
I've seen you about.
Yeah.
A bit.
Tell me more about yourself, though.
No, nothing special. I'm just a paladin of Moradin making his way in the world. I lead an outfit called the Order of the Watch.
The Order of the Watch. And Vinny would search his recollection. See if
Sure. You can all make history checks, arcana checks, religion checks, all the checks.
17 from Lynn.
Okay.
And then I would guide myself in this. Why not?
13.
Okay.
16.
20 total.
Okay. You're all familiar with the Order of the Watch being this kind of semi-paladin cleric order that operates throughout the world. 20 and 17, you said, Rachel?
Yeah, 17.
You guys are a little more familiar with the Order of the Watch. They kind of have a mission. Their whole thing is like planar threats. So their goal is to keep things from the outer planes in the outer planes. 20, you actually know that they have a semi-fortress within the Ascendancy on the eastern coast called, I think it's called Bright Gleam, but I'm going to double check.
And that was the Blackthorn Ascendancy.
Mm-hmm. They're on the east, actually kind of over where that forest that Vern was thinking about going is. There's this kind of desolate piece of land where they have a walled kind of fortress around it.
Okay. That's in the northeast.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me check my map, actually.
Yeah, I was like looking like,
It's called Evershield Garrison.
Okay, excellent. Yes, I believe I've heard of you, of your force. You do much to quell the chaos that might break in from other planes. Is that correct?
Aye. That was good work with them slots, by the way.
Yes, a good call out, indeed. It was our first foray into interplanar beings. I'd be interested to pick your brain about what good we might have done there and what good there is still to be done there.
Nasty beings. They don't travel the realms too much, to be honest. So it is a bit strange to see them here.
Are you aware of one that refuses to be a part of their endeavors?
No?
That holds himself up in what keep was that? Castle Keep? Deepwater Keep.
No, I've not heard of that.
Interesting.
He doesn't, he just sits there, does nothing.
He doesn't pose a threat, but he has taken habitation in the Deepwater Keep, and at least when we met him, it was many moons ago. But he had been slaying kobolds that were insisted upon sacrificing to him.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he wanted nothing to do with them or with us, so we left. But
Well, that's something to keep in mind. I've got bigger fish to fry currently, but we'll keep an eye out.
certainly, yes, I don't think that it's anything maybe worth mentioning at this point. But
The wine
Well,
is starting to be served now as well, for your information, Cyrus, as well as another like little starter thing. It's like some fried octopus, like the little teeny tiny octopi with like dill and oregano, yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to do, or anything else you want to say to anyone?
Not really.
well, we were called here. Wait, is there a purpose of the dinner? Was there like an order of events or some sort?
No one really knows.
Okay, so you're saying before. Okay.
I would just be keeping my head down, eating my food like as slowly as possible, just sort of look busy.
I think the more wine Cyrus drinks, the more excitedly he's telling Top Tlalool about his use of magic out on the roads and
Sure.
the Veju Wilds, and then,
If you,
and he is very animatedly describing Elin and her tornado twister movement out of the Kawaddle.
That's funny. You actually you see a couple of folks actually kind of listening to your story a little bit, as there's kind of like
She's sitting right here. This one.
She's really embarrassed, like kind of blushing. Her cheeks are red, but she just looks down. She does not say anything.
Truly, it was quite impressive.
You see the halfling at the end of the table, kind of regarding you guys as kind of, like someone to be watching, someone to someone of note for these stories. And you see him kind of nodding in approval. He's also very silently eating, hasn't really said a word. The goblin woman actually is quite loud and just talking nonsense mostly to whoever will listen. Mostly Morwarin Aldercrown, who speaks too slow to interrupt her as a furbolg. You see the fiery bearded dwarf talking animatedly with the gnomish man to his right, talking about all sorts of like smithing techniques and engineering and whatnot. Maude and the Azamar are talking about religion, basically. But eventually, throughout the hubbub and the main course, which is served, which is roast lamb and tzatziki sauce, as well as all the fixings, Stephanos stands abruptly and clears his throat, and the room instantly falls silent as abruptly as it can, and everyone just kind of turns. Thank you all for coming. As you know, this is not a social visitation. Our fledgling nation emerged from the darkness of oppression only 30 years prior. And while we may be trying to establish diplomatic ties with the Blackthorns, they remain an ever-present threat. This self-styled king, Adrian Costeau, is in open rebellion against the Ascendancy, as we once were. He claims to rebel against the stifling Church of the Tetrad and the control of the Quintessence Pursuant. However, we are not sure of his true intentions. While the apostasy is not ready or able to wage an open war, we may support theirs. This, however, leads me to why I've traveled here. We do not expect war to spill over into our lands, however, all parties will respect our sovereignty here. I am here to secure the borders. You have been called here because you are respected and valued members of Jasper. Some of you are fighters, some of you religious leaders. Even more of you simply are logistically savvy. I will be taking the Agiopore to the wall, but the rest of you must be prepared at a moment's notice to evacuate the city. I will be leaving Sudark, and he motions to the half-orc woman, and her company of best fighters behind to protect the city. Those of you who can fight, talk to Ulmer, or if you have military experience, you may talk to Sudark. In the coming days, we will review with you choke points, identify resources of value, and evacuation plans. We must work together to make sure as little life, property, and resources are squandered. Please direct any questions you have to the Kitagora, Sudark, or myself. Sits abruptly. Everyone slowly starts going back to talking.
I'm going to lean into Alen and say, I don't know if we're really in the right place.
We're not, but we can enjoy dinner for tonight, collect our reward, and move on.
That's true. If we just think of this as a free meal, I'm okay with that.
I think Vinny wouldn't say anything. Actually.
Yeah, I would
He'd
just
be very
nod and
careful
keep
not
eating.
to say anything.
Very carefully eating.
Yep.
Tot making friendly conversation with you, introducing you to people, pleasantries are made. But you get the name of a few people around you, but nothing substantial as you kind of keep to yourself.
Free
And,
dinner and networking opportunity.
you have a nice dessert. They send out figs, some nuts, some cheeses, grapes, yogurt, and you finish the night with these yummy sesame honey fried cakes, almost like little donuts. And you are stuffed.
Can I confirm a detail? He said his goal was to secure the border. I remember that. Did he say that he might support the Duke?
They may support this war.
They may support the
They're not
Duke
clear-
or certainly not the Ascendancy.
No.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to
The-
clarify that he said that they
the
haven't
Duke
really decided
turned
on
king.
it. Could support the Duke.
They're not clear of his intentions at the moment, though,
Okay.
which is why they're they're not sure if war is going to spill over from either side into their lands. But their main goal right now is to protect
Their border.
the apostasy.
Yeah. Then I was. Thanks.
No problem. But you can kind of excuse yourselves as dinner is winding down. Make your way out into the gallery. And as you're walking out, you hear quick footsteps behind you as it seems the Kitagora has followed you out, Denai Gabrieli. Excuse me, do you have a moment? I'm sorry.
We perhaps. Yeah, we could spare a moment. We are in a little bit of a hurry.
Are you
Yeah, go ahead.
are you staying in town?
We're leaving as soon as we can.
Oh,
Denai.
that's wonderful, actually. I was wondering if you could. I know it's risky, but could you maybe go to Ormond?
What exactly do you have us?
There's two reasons. I know that's where the war is, but my daughter, she is there. She's I guess now a queen. She's married to Adrian. So I would like you to check up on her.
I would be pleased. I actually know exactly who you're
Is
talking about.
Ormond on the way to Urangol?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Complete opposite direction.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
what I
can go
thought.
around. You can dip under to go, and then okay, never mind. Yeah, I see.
Oh, you're looking at the map.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you can like dip. It's like going Ormond's back closer to Riverbend.
They form kind of a triangle.
Right.
With rivers and mountains in between those, but and then also just to maybe solidify the intentions of this so-called war. I know a lot of people are crossbow shy right now about
Bow shy.
what might happen, and I think perhaps even if this war is just and that we need to support it, then we need to know that, but we're not sure. We don't have a large spy network there.
Well, to be perfectly honest, though, we were making arrangements to head kind of the opposite direction back to Uringal.
Okay. Well, it's no trouble. It was just a favor you could do.
I'll defer this one. Oh, I'll defer to the group to take a phrase from Vinny. But I think we should. I mean, I think Alin should.
Well,
Yes, perhaps we discuss this and then let you know.
Sure, you can send a courier to one of the Mr. Lectors towards me with a letter.
so you're the mother, Ismozal.
Yes,
Interesting.
Ismozal Gabrieli, as I like to say, not Costo.
Right. I guess I'm beginning to see the resemblance. Your daughter and I were acquaintances.
Oh, really?
Yes, I spent much time in Oromond, and she actually showed me great favor.
Oh, that is
Helped
wonderful
me to
news.
find work.
I'm going to nudge over at Bells and say, yeah, they probably communed.
Rose.
I would just look at you like
Netflix and commune.
No,
Am I right?
Please.
Yeah,
Please
I'm
don't.
like,
I'm sorry, Vern's not here anymore.
but yes, we do operate as a group, and we did have a different heading. But we will be in touch.
Of course. All right. Well, travel safely home. Have a good night. I have to go back in politics.
Right.
She bids you farewell and hurriedly walks back into the room. You can see a lot of other patrons besides kind of the higher ups are now taking a page out of your book and feeling a bit uncomfortable, a bit like this is too much for them. Are kind of starting to head out a bit now too. The Smiths are heading out. The Oswin, he's got a tavern to run, stuff like that. But you make your way outside into the to the moonlight, and what's everyone's passive perceptions?
11.
11.
10.
Okay. Once again, only Bells. You notice something interesting. But first, moonlight. For everyone at home,
Ooh, that was intentional.
I have some color-changing light bulbs, and I have a nice little moonlight function running
that.
at home. Bells, as you are walking out, you notice something. There seems to be a thin piece of rope dangling from one of the walls of the citadel.
Do you all see that rope over there? Is it dangling out of a window, or
It's actually on the battlement, like where the crenellations are, the little square holes where archers would shoot out of. As you kind of get closer, it is a grappling hook that has kind of been grappled into the side of the wall.
How high up is she pointing?
The wall's probably about 40 feet tall.
Okay, so it's at the top.
Yeah, well, it's anchored into something at the top, and then the rope is hanging down from the wall.
so indicating that someone has just grappled
Their way
down?
up onto the wall
Okay.
from the outside.
Alin, do you see that?
Looks like someone's grappled their way in. Maybe we should investigate or follow?
Well, my thought is that with this many important people in one place, It could be some sort of attempt on someone's life.
Wonder if it'd be faster to re-enter the main building, or if it'd be faster to climb this rope. Let's see.
I know that we don't pick sides here, but we don't know what side there are, what options we have in front of us until we see what sides there are. I don't know. I guess what I mean to say is that we can't pick a side if we don't know what the sides are.
Well,
We don't have to pick a side if we go in, but we can defend life.
Of course, and that's what I'm thinking. Someone clearly had dishonorable intent, and they may take a life tonight. So let's see if we can prevent it. Maybe we should scale the wall.
These people have been nothing but good to us, and I am sensitive, of course, to the delicate nature of our polity.
Should somebody warn the people on the inside, or do we, or would that be splitting the party?
We should probably all go in and at least warn, deny, or taunt our two contacts.
So you're going back in, not up the rope, to clarify?
Yeah, we're not going to go up the rope.
We could
Let's-
send Franklin up the wall.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he's got sticky fingers. I'll give him a climb speed.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Send him up the
Lynn's
wall. I
headed
will
in.
guide
She's
you.
going to try to make an announcement.
Okay.
And, like, grab a fork and like tap on a glass.
Y'all are gonna have to handle
Okay.
Cyrus's limp body in this in this polite company.
I'll do what I usually do while he's.
So we'll do
Regarding
we'll do Franklin, and then we'll do announcement time. Franklin, you scamper up the wall. Come up to the top. There's a grappling hook, and it seems like there's two figures, both leaned up against different crenellations.
Okay.
You kind of climb around one, and it's a Mr. Loctos guard with a single hole in his throat, up under his jaw.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn, you stride into the now kind of almost empty. You see the dining room's almost empty besides Denai and Ulmer, the Tiefling Guardsman, talking in hushed tones to one another as the servers are kind of clearing away the food and drinks. They both look up.
That's a good
Ulmer
mouthful.
kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was all Rachel.
Beer glass volley. John just said that's all Rachel. He put his beer bottle right next to me and gestured to the forks.
And held up the fork and then
Yeah.
put the fork in her hand. And then.
So yeah, it was all me. I'm such a good Foley artist. I thought of it all by myself.
Can we use that? Can we use that for mouth Foley now? Now that we've
yeah.
revealed
No, it's
the
not
secret.
a mouth Foley.
I know.
it's not
We
mouth.
revealed the secret, though. We could have passed it off.
Ting, 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 ting.
There we go.
Ting, 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 ting. Anyway,
Anyway,
sorry, we're coming
Alin?
out. It's a very intense situation, and I think we're all
Intense
uncomfortable, aren't we?
situation.
Yeah, we're all
trying to
getting
make
into Jeremy's side business here.
They both look up.
Okay. So she's going to say, there's an intruder. There's been a breach. We need everyone to be on guard. And if you have any security, send them looking for a suspicious individual who's broken in. They climbed into the tower from a grappling hook and rope. We saw them at the... And she's going to describe the
Sure.
battlement.
Before you even stop speaking, Ulmer, this burly tiefling, has stood up and is walking with you out as you're describing, kind of like, show me, and you guys can start to make your way towards the direction if you like, or you can regroup with your friends. It's up to you.
I guess as Franklin sees the Mystilectos, Cyrus kind of limp and Belle's holding him up. He's going to say, "There's Mystilectos with holes in their throats. I don't think it's an emergency tracheotomy. I think someone better get up there."
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
So good. Wow, what an intense. Oh, man, this is good.
Cool.